Hey, what's going on, everybody? Been a long time since I have made a video. Been a long time since I have been fishing for many reasons, but the new year's coming up. Today's December 26th. I hope you all had a great Christmas. I hope Santa brought you guys all what you wanted, including a lot of fishing gear. Today's video, I'm gonna try to hop right into it. It is my best fish of 2019. So this doesn't mean necessarily my biggest fish of 2019. I did a video last year, my best fish of 2018, so I'll put that one up above. You guys can check that one out too. But these are my best, pretty much my most memorable fish of 2019 is probably a better way of putting it. So we'll hop right into it. Fish number one is going to be my personal best. I caught my personal best this year. I was on like a 3-year drought, just stuck with a 7.2, and I had caught 2 other 7.2s. So it was like I was never going to get over this hump. And this year I finally got a 7.5. So not exactly how you want to break your PB, especially being here in San Diego. I'm still after that double digit, but go ahead and check this one out. And if you guys haven't seen it yet, I'll link up above the day that I had out there on Lake Hodges. So check it out. Jeez, this fish is strong. This might not be a bass. What kind of fish is this? Oh gosh, I don't know. What are you, fish? Oh my God. Oh my God. Might be my new PB. I don't think it is, but oh my gosh, that fish is big. Holy cow. Oh, man. That fight was insane. Oh, that's gonna be my new PB. .757, new personal best. Alright, here's my new personal best looks like. All right, hopping into number 2 most memorable fish of 2019. This one, I traveled up to fish the Western Regional Championship, Kayak Bass Fishing Western Regional Championship. The year prior, it was known as the Open. I took second in that tournament. First time ever fishing Clear Lake. You know, the Bass Factory, Tactical Bassing guys are always doing their videos out there. if you're a diehard bass fisherman, you probably know about Clear Lake. So took that trip up there in 2018 and took second out of 100, 101, and had an absolute blast. Probably the most fun I've ever had fishing. It was just non-stop action. So this year headed up there again, trying to take home the victory, and they ended up falling short. Day one killed me. I lost the tournament on day one, and I dedicated my whole day to throwing a frog on day one, and had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, and just absolutely blew it. Only ended up with 3 fish, but one of those fish that I missed, I knew was a good one, and I had missed that fish twice. So it was a 2-day tournament, and on the second day, there was nothing to fish for anymore besides an absolute Clear Lake stud. So I went back out there and was stubborn and threw a frog all day again, hoping to get 5. Ended up getting 5. This was the 5th fish, and it was the fish that I had missed. At least it was the same exact cast in the same exact spot of the fish that I had missed the day before. So it was almost like a little bit of revenge. So go ahead and check that one out. Back to a familiar cove, familiar arm. Didn't get anything in that other arm. It just wasn't the right weeds. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but you can see all the lines of me frogging this spot yesterday in the afternoon. And I got bit here twice and missed him both times. So people don't forget. I could even see the spot he bit. Sweet revenge. And he's in the dirt. Like I said, people don't forget. Look at that. Almost went swimming. Wow. Got a little off balance on that. Trying to reel this. Alright, fish number 3 and my most memorable from 2019. This is actually going to be the first time you guys see this fish be caught. I've got some videos that I haven't uploaded yet. A few videos I haven't uploaded yet for reasons that you guys will know later. But this will be the first time I show it. This was at a local lake here in San Diego, and I was out throwing big swim baits. Which is a grind. It's always been a grind here in San Diego, but I love doing it, and I'm after a true giant when I do it. I just haven't hooked into that true giant yet, but I'm getting I've been fishing for about 4 hours, and you know, after throwing big baits for 4 hours, and that's all you dedicate your time to, it starts to take a toll on you after you haven't hooked a single fish. But I'm getting blown to a cove by some strong winds, and I'm kind of at that point where I'm just frustrated. And as I'm getting blown into this cove by the wind, I look down and I see a pretty solid bass just sitting at the top of these weeds, and he's got his head's away from me, so he doesn't know I'm above him, but I'm literally maybe, I mean, you guys will see in the video, 5 yards away from him. And I've got a big swim bait on, a big 4.5 ounce swim bait. And all I do is just click the bail and toss it on his head. And I know that you guys have done this. I know that every bass fisherman has done this. You've seen a fish, it's big, and you just pitch anything you can out there hoping to catch it, and it never works. Hardly ever works, at least for me. Well, this time, throwing this giant swim bait, right when this bait hits the water, this fish comes up and explodes on it. It ended up being a 22-inch fish. For those of you that don't know, in kayak bass fishing, we go by length. But it was just shy of 6 pounds and 22 inches. So go ahead and check this one out. Alright, my number 4 most memorable fish of the year was at, traveled up north again to New Melones Lake, which is now one of my favorite lakes of all time. Definitely in my top 3. Had an absolute blast there. It's a KBF Western Trail event that I went to, and we were pre-fishing. I had already found the area that I wanted to fish the day before, and this area I was just gonna go check it out and kind of just plan on having a good time. You know, we make these, this trip took me about 9 hours to get to, 10 hours to get to. So when we go to these away tournaments, you know, I know it's pre-fishing and all that, but once I found my spot that I knew I was gonna fish, we went out the next day and we just fished, you know, to have a good time. Let's go fish a spot we know we're not gonna fish on tournament day and see what we can do. And so we went out there. We'd had a okay day and just messing around, and once again I kind of get blown back to a cove that I'm looking at, and I'd been casting in it, and I know it's only about a foot of water, but I end up just starting to go with the wind and paddle back there. And it was a spot where you needed to have a paddle kayak to get to. You couldn't have had pedals, you couldn't have had a motor. So I get back there and I'm in at the very most 12 inches of water, and I look back and there's a creek that's flowing through, that's coming through this cove. And it's you know, summertime, it's 100 degrees, right around 100 degrees. So I'm thinking, if that's some cool water, there's got to be some bass there. The only problem is that water was about 6 inches. So, you know, you question, could there even be a bass back there? And if there is, how big could it possibly be? Well, go ahead and check this one out. fifth and last most memorable fish caught of 2019. Once again, out throwing big swim baits at a local lake here in San Diego, and I had just seen a massive school go right underneath my kayak, and this school had over 50 bass. I mean, easily over 50. It just kept coming in waves of just good 3 to 4 to 5 pounders, and crystal clear water. And it happens quite often at this lake. They go underneath you, and once again you throw everything you can at them and they never bite. So this time I see where they're going, and like I said, it's crystal clear water, so I see which direction they're headed, and I cast, 40 yards, big swim bait, 4-ounce swim bait, way out where I think they're gonna end up going. So I'm kind of leading them. And as I start to reel it in, again, you'll see the wind. The wind was ripping. I'm pushed up against the shore, and I'm slowly retrieving this bait. And as I'm slowly retrieving it, I look down and I see just this giant black shadow trailing underneath the bait. And this happens a lot when you swim bait fish, so you get excited, but you kind of get used to it at the same time, and most of the time they won't bite. So you kind of just figure it's going to be one of those deals where you get a giant follower and then you tell your friends about the giant follower that you had. So fish follows it up, and I'm trying to get them to bite, mixing up the retrieve a little bit, and then all of a sudden I just kill the bait. When I killed the bait, that fish came up and absolutely crushed it. Ended up going just under 22 inches and a 5-pounder. So go ahead and check this one out. Yeah, baby! Oh my gosh. All right, that's going to conclude the video, guys. It was a great 2019. I had a blast. I wish I would have fished a little bit more in the later months, but it is what it is. I'll kick off 2020 and in hopes of just having another great year, having a good time, maybe breaking my new PB, hopefully. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys thought of the video, and stay tuned for some more updates.